This is Miami All Access.
Pretty pleased, really. And you talk as a coach, you're never happy when your team loses, and we're certainly not accepting defeat by any stretch. But again, as we look at where we're at as a program of playing good football, I thought that was some of the best football we played all year. And in the three phases, our special teams were good. I mean, we actually did some really nice things. Fred had a big return, but Fred's had some plays on special teams, and it was a one-man show on a couple of them where we didn't really block anyone, but Fred made some guys miss and found a crack and made a big play, and the kickoff return team felt good. But then when you watch the tape on Monday, you're like, no one blocked a soul. Fred just made a play. Where Saturday, he actually got the ball ripped in north and south, and we blocked everybody to the kicker. And there was a lot of nice things happening. We had a good punt return. We had our best kickoff coverage of the year. We had some other guys on kickoff step up and make plays that our announcers had to call their names that they hadn't probably called their names all year. So more guys on special teams pitched in and made some plays that can help you win a game. So that was a huge positive. Defensively, we got some stops. I thought it'd be difficult. They wore us down a little bit in the second half. We handled them pretty good run game in the first half, but they obviously second half got on us pretty good and took over a little bit. It was good. Tony Reed got to play a lot, a true freshman. Did not play good enough to help us win a game. He made some mistakes, but for a true freshman, first game starting, I thought he showed a lot of things that were huge positives for our program moving forward. Obviously, there was mistakes that hurt us that, we'd love to have back, and we probably could have, should have won a game if we don't make some of those mistakes. But it was good to see him out there. There was other kids defensively. I thought Heath Harding was very aggressive, at times too aggressive, but I thought he was very aggressive in getting more comfortable. So obviously Quentin had a huge play that gave us a chance late to tie the game up. So I thought there was more positives, obviously, than against Western, where there was no positives on defense. And they gave us a chance. They got 5 stops and gave us a chance to hang in there offensively. Everything was great. We just need to score more points. So we talked about controlling the ball, which is very difficult to do when you throw it. That we want to consume clock by throwing the ball. No one really has that approach, but that was kind of our approach. I thought we ran it effectively enough to keep them off balance, that where they couldn't tee off on us. I thought Day One did some nice things in the run game. I thought our offensive line did some nice things in the run game. I thought we threw the ball extremely efficiently. Short, medium, long. Handled pressure, handled zone coverage, ran routes, caught the ball. Days like that, you have a strong arm Kim like Hendricks. I'm not really worried about the wind. He can cut it through the wind. That's, is almost to our advantage if the wind blows hard, because our quarterback can really let it rip, and he throws a very tight spiral. So for him, not really a big deal. A lot of quarterbacks you got to convince they can throw in the wind. He knows he can cut it. With the wind, against wind, we didn't really have a different plan, which sometimes you do if you don't have a strong arm guy. The biggest thing is catching the football. There's a lot of drops in cold weather, and if most of your receiving corps from South Carolina, which ours is, and they come out there with their ski masks on, and but they handled it very good. Their mindset was very good. Their approach was very good. You could tell in pregame they were ready to play, and we caught the ball all day long, which that's usually, you read a lot of games about all the drops the teams had in the North last week, and it was a consistent theme when you looked around the country, a lot of drops. We did not have any drops, and we caught a lot of tough balls in crowds and took hits. So did everything could. Obviously, the drives that you get down there and you either turn it over on downs. We had a chance on the first drive on a post play and didn't connect for a touchdown. We miss a short field goal on the next drive. And then obviously the last drive, you have 5 cracks from inside the 10. The tough thing was the sack. We had first and goal at the 1, and you get sacked, and you'd like to have 4 cracks from the 1. Even with only 20-some seconds, we could have got 4. We actually got 5 plays off. But that was a disappointing one. We got to get rid of the ball there and give us a chance from the 1-yard line. So a lot of positives. If we score, you tie it up and you go in overtime, you got a chance to win a game on the road against a team that's now 5-2 and legitimately should be 6-1, because they really gave a game away and they would be tied for their league. So it was good for us. It was good to see good football. It's good to be able to watch tape this afternoon, and kids are going to see a lot more positives than negatives. We still got a long ways to go, but at least we felt like that was a step forward on Saturday.
How big was it that they bounced back and turned in a performance like that after how they played?
Yeah, and in just being week 12 of the year, I know it's 11th, you don't ever want to have your worst game of the year going the bye week. I mean, that's the worst because now you're questioning, you got a pretty good plan to get kids rested up and, then do you really feel like resting them up after you go out there and play as bad as we did against Western? So we stayed to the plan. We gave them a lot of downtime, and even our practices were very short. We wanted them to be fresh. They responded. I had no idea how we were going to respond. They could have easily said, we just got blown out. We've been fighting hard all year. This coach has been on our tail all year, and it's getting old, and we got really nothing to play for, and we're going on the road, and it's 20 degrees cold, and it's snowing up there. But it was huge for our kids to respond that way. And you could tell as the week of practice, they had to bounce their staff. You can tell in pregame on Saturday, our kids wanted to play and wanted to be there and wanted to compete, and that's tremendous for our assistant coaches to have that, because if we don't have a good relationship with our guys right now, we're just trying to get to the end of the season. And a lot of teams across the country right now are trying to get to the end of the season. Our guys really aren't. I think our guys will be very disappointed a week from Tuesday when we don't get to play any more games, because I think they feel like we're coming and we're getting better and we need to play to get better. They've bought into the idea that the more we play, the better you get. They're not as worried about always looking at the scoreboard as trying to play the next step. So it was a huge bounce back for our program to make sure that we're not losing kids in our first year, and all our kids responded great.
Kind of late in the game, Central kind of moved to a no down lineman look on defense. Did you guys anticipate that coming, and how did Hendricks handle that?
It was fine. They do that some on third down, not a ton. It's kind of one of their, they were mixing in, and then obviously it was more of a 2-minute situation. So, Hendricks handled, more importantly, the offensive line handled it very good. It's just hard to sort guys out. We had the right protection on, but there's a lot of guys moving, and they got potential 7, 8 guys coming, and sometimes they're only rushing 3 or 4 or 5. But you gotta make sure you get hats on the guys. So our kids did a very good job, and there's tons of things where light years better. But if you can go back and watch our first couple games in protection and watch what we're doing now, it's pretty amazing.
With the benefit of hindsight and all that, would you have done anything differently on the final drive?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have called the call on first down that got us sacked. We obviously had all the momentum. We like to typically go a little faster when we got them on the heels. They got a PI. They're spotting the ball at the 1. We had our bread and butter call on down there. They bought pressure. Andrew should have got us out of the call, but I think he thought he knew it was pressure. I think he thought he can get rid of it, which he needed to protect us and give us a better chance. If I don't make the call, he doesn't miss the check. Like, that's the hindsight. Andrew will tell you we call that 15 times a game, and I got to manage it. But from my standpoint, I could have called something with protected better, So they went 6. We only had 5 block, and he needed to get another guy in there to block. So that's the one that really stings when we get sacked. I'm saying, man, I should have just had a 6-man pro in the first place, and Andrew wouldn't have had to manage it. He thought he could get the ball off in time. Obviously, he couldn't. Now you're back on the 9-yard line. It's a little different deal. So, because we were going to probably at least take one crack at running it, because we had timeout still, and we had, we're on the 1. So that's the one. But anytime things don't work, you're always looking back at, shouldn't have done that. So, but
moving ahead to Ohio, final game for the seniors. What's kind of their mindset right now?
Yeah, I'm not sure what theirs are. I'm sure it's like most seniors, that bittersweet. That. Pretty exciting for senior day. Is a pretty special day, but that also means your career is coming to an end for some of them. I think we have some guys that got a chance to keep playing. But I know the mindset for everyone else is win this game for the seniors. Like everyone else, our seniors have really bought in. They could have easily been the ones that were the tough ones to sell on. Well, you're going to get turned around, but we're not going to be part of it, blah, blah, blah. I think we did a good job of not turning our back. We embraced the older guys and didn't say out with the old, in with the new. We gave those kids a chance to compete and win spots and be part of the turnaround. But I think we owe to them. They've been unbelievable since we got here. It's been a huge transition for everyone, but they're the ones that have been at the forefront and been the leaders. So for us, from the coaches and the junior, sophomores, and freshmen, we got 10 days to do everything in our power to give us the best chance to win a football game. And we're going to do a lot of that with the seniors in mind. We've already talked about in the post-game Saturday that if you can't get motivated for yourself, you get motivated for these seniors. It's pretty easy.
With the extra few days to kind of prepare, what changes between the normal week?
Yeah, we're going to keep we only got 3 extra days, so Thursday will be Monday, and then we'll be on our normal schedule from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so that'll be fine. A little difference, we'll go to class on the day of the game. We're not going to stay in the hotel the night before the game because it doesn't make sense to go to Hamilton and come back for an 8 o'clock class. I don't know how that is helping our kids. It seems like we're just running them around for no reason. But more rest time, more study time. It was nice. The bye week, we're close to finals. We got a lot of good homework done a week ago. We got a lot of good tutoring done a week ago, a lot of study table hours because they had extra time, and then a lot of rehab and a lot of lifting. So we are very fresh against Central. We had a bounce in our step. We were playing fast. That's the fastest we've looked, where I thought Western, obviously, we did not look crisp. We looked sluggish. We looked slow. And again, was that our poor job as coaches, or was it 10 straight weeks of playing and a lot of close games, and we were just kind of at that point in the year where we didn't have a lot of bounce in our step. So I think, again, the 3 extra days will get us. They got to play Tuesday. We got to take that, hopefully they have a 6 overtime game, against Northern tomorrow night, and it goes till 4 in the morning, and it's really physical. So we got to take advantage of every inch we can get, but our kids need to be fresh a week from Tuesday, and we'll make sure they are. Defense really sound. They've played good on defense all year. They don't do a ton, but they disguise what they do. And they're very good. Their alignment, assignment, technique, and physical defense, and they're very good. And again, they've played pretty good defense straight through. That's not been the issue. They've struggled at different times offensively to score as much as they want. They've got very good running backs. They got a couple different quarterbacks that they play them both. That I don't have a great feel for when they're going with which one, or they're just playing both because they like them both. And they've actually got 2 good running backs, and then they got some guys outside that can make some plays. They just, I think they're struggling with consistency. They got a lot of new guys and a lot of new guys up front offensively. So I think it's, do a couple good things, but then make a mistake and bog a drive down, because at times they look pretty good on offense. But it's hard if you can't be consistent to sustain things, which we know. So I think that's been their Achilles heel on offense.
How big would it be to possibly deny OU a bowl game, depending on what happens tomorrow night?
Yeah, for me, it would be big to win this game for our program and to get to 3 wins in the MAC and go 3-5 in the MAC and send our seniors out. I'm not really into doing things to other teams. Like, it just, if they go to bowl game, they might win tonight and be bowl eligible tonight, or win them all night. So to me, the focus on, 1, I want to win this game for the seniors. 2, I want to win this game for our program. I think our kids have worked very hard this year, and I think finishing with a win would mean a lot to the seniors and mean a lot even to the returning kids, that we've been close a lot, and then 3 of the last 6 weeks we found ways to not just be close but win some games and go out feeling like, hey, we've got something to shoot for in the offseason. We closed the gap a lot, but we also know there's still a big gap between us and the rest of the league, so we got to work the next 8 months to continue to close that gap. I think it'd be big for our fans if we beat OU and kept them on a bowl game. They would enjoy that immensely. So we'd like to make our fans happy, so that makes sense to me.